Welcome back to our National Assessment for School Heads self-paced review series. We're now on episode 60, and today we shine the spotlight on the key result areas for principals. Mastering the KRAs means stepping fully into your role as a leader who guides teachers, manages the school with excellence, and builds strong partnerships with the community. In this episode, we'll explore each KRA in clear, practical terms, connect them to DepEd policies, and see how they shape the everyday life of a school head. Whether you are preparing for the NQESH or strengthening your leadership journey, this session is here to help you align your vision, decisions, and actions with the standards for high-performing principals. Let's learn together, grow together, and lead with purpose. We now start on Item 1. Item 1. A school principal decides to replace all classroom ceiling fans with new units. However, no inspection was conducted to determine if the old fans were reparable, and no approval was secured from the division office. Under Department Order No. 33, Series 2023, which principle was violated? A. Conduct of preventive maintenance before replacement. B. Immediate replacement of damaged assets without inspection. C. Disposal of unserviceable property. D. Use of PDA funds without documentation. What do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter A. Let's get its explanation. DepEd Order No. 33, Series 2023 emphasizes preventive maintenance and repair before replacement to maximize resources and asset life. Skipping the inspection process violates the requirement to assess serviceability first. Item 2. In preparing for the opening of classes, the school head allocates funds for repainting the entire school facade, but uses special education funds without prior approval from the local school board. Under DepEd Order No. 35, Series 2019 and the Joint DepEd, DBM, DLG guidelines, what is the correct procedure? A. Proceed with painting since it is for beautification purposes. B. Seek approval from the local school board before using SEF. C. Charge expenses to MOE without documentation. D. Proceed as long as the PDA agrees to share the cost. What do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter B. Let's get its explanation. The SEF can be used for repairs and maintenance, but local school board approval is required for such expenditures. This ensures proper budgeting, accountability, and compliance with local fiscal rules. Item 3. A school stores chemicals for its science laboratory in an unlocked cabinet located in a classroom. During an inspection, the division DRRM coordinator flags this as unsafe. Based on DepEd Memorandum No. 129, Series 2020, what is the required corrective measure? A. Store chemicals in locked, labeled cabinets away from students. B. Keep chemicals in classrooms for easy teacher access. C. Dispose of all chemicals immediately after the school year. D. Assign students to monitor the storage area. What do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter A. Let's get its explanation. DepEd Memorandum No. 129, Series 2020 requires safe storage in secured, labeled, and restricted access areas to avoid hazards and ensure school safety compliance. Item 4. The school head schedules major roof repairs during the rainy season, causing prolonged class suspensions. Which planning principle under DepEd Order No. 33, Series 2023 was overlooked? A. Schedule major repairs during school break or dry season. B. Prioritize repairs for aesthetic purposes. C. Conduct repairs in phases without consultation. D. Allow classes to continue despite unsafe structures. What do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter A. Let's get its explanation. The policy highlights timely and season-sensitive scheduling of major works, ideally during school breaks or dry months, to minimize class disruptions and ensure safety. Item 5. During property inventory, the school head discovers several unused printers still in sealed boxes for more than 2 years. What should be the immediate action under DepEd Order No. 35, Series 2019? A. Continue storing them until needed. B. Request for transfer or redistribution to schools in need. C. Dispose of them as unserviceable property. D. Sell them to generate income for the school. What do you think is the correct answer? The correct answer is letter B. Let's get its explanation. The order promotes optimal use of resources through redistribution or transfer to other schools before declaring them unserviceable. Prolonged storage without use is considered poor asset management. Item 6. While preparing the School Improvement Plan, SIP, the principal noticed that a proposed procurement for ICT equipment was not aligned with the budget program in the Annual Procurement Plan, AP. Under DepEd Order No. 5, Series 2021, what is the correct leadership action? A. Proceed with procurement, but secure retroactive SIP revision. B. Revise the app and SIP to ensure alignment before procurement. C. Request the supplier to adjust specifications to fit the existing budget. D. Delay procurement until the end of the fiscal year for flexibility. Correct answer, B. Rationalization. DepEd Order No. 5, Series 2021 mandates that procurement must be consistent with both the app and SIP to ensure transparency and budget alignment. Retroactive revisions or supplier adjustments without proper planning violate planning and procurement protocols. Item number 7. A school head signs off a procurement request for additional textbooks even though funds for it were not in the approved budget. Under DBM Circular Number 2008-8, NQESH, which internal control principle was breached? A. Segregation of duties. B. Authorization and approval. C. Timely and accurate recording. D. Asset safeguarding. Correct answer, B. Rationalization. NQESH emphasizes authorization and approval processes as safeguards against irregular obligations. Approving unfunded expenditures undermines budgetary integrity and accountability. Item number 8. In the annual SIP review, it was found that certain expenditures were reported without supporting documents. Which control measure from DBM Circular Number 2008-8 should have prevented this? A. Documentation and record-keeping controls. B. Procurement performance monitoring. C. Independent external auditing. D. Budget realignment protocols. Correct answer. Rationalization. Proper documentation and record-keeping is a core element of internal controls, ensuring all transactions are traceable, auditable, and legitimate. Missing documentation exposes the school to audit disallowances. Item number 9. A school's procurement plan includes construction works not reflected in the SIP's priority projects. As per DepEd Order No. 5, Series 2021, what should the principal do first? A. Remove the construction works from the procurement plan. B. Revise the SIP to include the new construction works. C. Proceed if the funding source is secure. D. Wait for LGU approval before deciding. Correct answer, B. Rationalization. The SIP is the master planning document for school programs and projects. Any new procurement outside its scope must first be integrated through proper SIP revision before proceeding. Item 10. The bookkeeper reports that some fixed assets were recorded in the wrong account classification, affecting financial reports. Which NQESH internal control component addresses the prevention of such errors? A. Control environment. B. Risk assessment. C. Control activities. D. Information and communication. Correct answer, C. Rationalization. Control activities in NQESH include procedures for accurate classification and recording of transactions to maintain asset and accounting integrity. Item 11. A principal is reviewing the school's annual procurement plan